friends, this is Ink here. Today I'm going to be doing the leader showcase. The first fight right here is going to be the leader versus Terrax. So the leader has a great move from his SP2, which is called Power Dissolve. So when a champion would gain power, they will, from any source, they will take damage when they're supposed to gain it, quote unquote. So I wanted to get my SP2 right here. You can see Withers, Spectres, and he just melts down right there. Most of these are all duels pretty much because I wanted to show you guys the duality of what he can do. But see right there, he melted the Terrax, the R3 Terrax down already right there. So the next one is going to be Nova. So we're like, oh, Nova, he has a ability where he dashes back and forward. He gains power over time. So right here, we're just going to do the same thing I said. And we're going to go to a SP2. That is the money maker for power gain fights. So right here, SP2 of him. I take a little hit. Got my Steadfast on. Take my SP2. And as you can watch right here, he just went down 10 health. And then right now another 8. Just because he dashed forward and he had that Power Dissolve on, he automatically is losing health. Then this one I've done a couple times in BGs and for the Summer Suffering. But we want to get to SP2. I'm going to be using my R2 leader 5-star versus this R3, R4 6-star of Destroyer that I have. You can only duel so much before you run out of duel credits, you know. So we're just going to let him build up till I get that passive power drain. Get them destruction charges. He throws off its SP1. Get my SP2 as normal. There's my Power Dissolve. He's getting his power right there. And it's slowly ticking, but right there you can see what it goes by. The rank, it helps a lot. And then also his SIG ability helps a lot too when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But you still get a lot of this great damage. I wouldn't say it's need to be duped, but a dupe is definitely very awesome. So then right here we have, got to remember, because I've done so many, it's going to be Bishop. You're going to see the slowdown for this as well. So this is an EQ, the Science. Nothing really special here, maybe like an increased Fury, but that doesn't really help, to be honest with you. You still get a lot of burst damage. So right there we get to an SP2. We can take that into the block if we wanted, if he had 12 debuffs. When they're a non-mystic, 12 debuffs will allow the leader to get a Steadfast, and that will allow him to block unblockable attacks. See right here, he threw that special, and then Bishop has where he'd lose that bar power, he will lose it. So right there, as you can see, he lost it, and he took about 111k red damage, burst damage. So right here, this is the leader versus Serpent. So, obviously, the Serpent is probably one of the hardest defenders in the game at the moment. And Mystics can reduce his power gain. But anybody that's not Mystic can only reduce it up to a 50% baseline right there. So, as all my Withers right here, that's what's going to do the work and allow him not to be able to gain a bunch of power right there. Because he can't be power drained, technically. So the Power Dissolve doesn't work the way that it would work with other champs. But as you can see, he's not going crazy with his power gains. He had 1, 2 right there. And you can still throw the SP1 and then modify and reverse his regen. See right here, he's down to 1%. And mine's is only a SIG 20. So right there, his morality or whatever falls off. And boom, super easy. This one is a great one, because when Killmonger, when he gets debuffs, as you can see right here, he gains power for like how many he would get. So I'm putting a bunch of debuffs on. So I'm just going to be baiting to the SP2 as pretty much a lot of fights you want to do. And boom. Once I get to my SP2, that's when everything's going to be start shaking for us. Right here. See that pause right there? He already got some burst damage right there, about 23k. And boom, bursted down. And I've done this BG fight before too, and I plan on doing the war. So this is the leader versus Dragonman. So basically pretty much like you think about any Mystics. But the good thing about the leader is he applies Withers and he applies Spectres. So he works for both power gain and also healing. So I'm going to try not to heavy here. Not heavy, sorry, parry, to get rid of his power gain, because I want to show you guys with the SP2 and the power dissolve, which you can apply on Dragonman, what he'll be able to do right here. So obviously this is going to be elongated since this is a low rank of mine, but as soon as you'd hit him right there, boom, he takes a burst of damage. Even though it's minuscule since he's the little guy on my part, you're still going to be able to get him down. So if you had a big leader versus Dragonman in this new war meta that's coming up, you're going to be able to take him down pretty easily. So this next fight is going to be the leader versus man thing. A couple things is you can deal with his power gain, so with your withers. You can deal with his healing because of Spectres, and you're poison immune. So you don't got to worry about getting hurt right here. I got my Steadfast up with them 4 debuffs. You only need 4 on Mystic, 12 on any other class when duped, as I mentioned before. But right there's that SP2. And boom, burst damage. A lot of burst damage, a lot of red damage. He's not a yellow damage crit guy, but he is definitely a red damage burst guy. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. He has a tons of utility. So this one you want to line up as you would do when you have a Void versus Iron Man Infinity War. So we're just going to work our Withers and Spectres into it. Let him parry out right here, heavy. It's really about timing when it comes to this, because we know what happens at that last 15%. He gets that power gain phase, you know. And you can't, like, control it if you don't stop it before. Like, if you killed him before, say, for a Corvus nuke or something, obviously, you don't got to worry about it. Iron Man Infinity War is a pretty, like, popular BG defender, and he's also was War Meta defender last season, but people still use him as a defender. So right there, I still got my power dissolve, my 6 withers, 2 Spectres, got auto blocked right here, but it's okay. I recovered from that. We're going to have to just apply another wither before he gets to that 15-16% threshold where he gets that massive power gain. So I got my SP2 right here. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to get a little bit closer, try to get him down closer to where I want to hit him. And right, boom. So he's at 18. We got the power dissolve on, right? Boom. No massive power gain. No problem. And now right there, you get that little burst damage right there, because I was able to negate all that, and great. So Adam can't have his power rate affected by anybody that's not a Mystic. So this fight is more about wanting to nix his regen when he goes into the pod. So you're just going to dodge his SP1. You can see the withers are still doing work here. The power dissolves won't work on him, just like Serpent. And side note, the leader is not an Enchantress counter, so don't try it either. Right there, you can see with the regens, he's just still going down with the spare and these debuffs. Just put in work. So Mangog, just a normal Mystic, as we can think. Mangog gains passive power gain, obviously. So you want to get to your SP2. And boom. Just keep on working. There's your SP2. Got the withers. Got that. When I go to hit him, there's a nice little burst. Yep, there you go. There's that power dissolve working. I just want to nuke it out a little bit. Shake and bake, void tactic, you know. And it's just definitely great. The leader's probably one of my favorite champions right now. So Hulkling, when he has shape-shifting charges, he would gain power. Well, same thing you do with every other champion. You gain power. You get that SP2. And you get that power dissolve on him. So you could take one and more pretty easily. You just got to work around the indestructible as you would do any other time. But I'm going to throw the SP2 during that. And right here, once you hit him, boom, burst damage. Burst damage. Tricked and indestructible. And I know the green door, which I'll be covering in another portion of this video, would allow them to be more aggressive, and they would take degen while they're on there. But a lot of times you want to keep on applying them debuffs, and you want to be aggressive. So the green door obviously is what you want to work on trying to line up with the green door. But I'm always gun blasting guns away right here. So with Rintrah, he gains a power gain when he neutralizes you. So I'm neutralized right now, right? I got that SP2, I got that power resolve, and I got the withers. There you go. Once he gets that power gain, he would gain it technically, but he would melt down because he can't gain it because of the power dissolve. Got the steadfast up. Get slapped a little bit. It's okay. I'm not the best player, but I try my best. And yeah, right there you got Rintrah. Another option that you could probably take in BG or War, which he's another tactic defender. A lot of these mystics I'm showing are. So at Purgatory, she has this passive power gain, as you can see right here. And pretty much, like I've said before, mystics, SP2. If it's a regen mystic, SP1. You can get that vitality. You can manipulate it. But right here, I'm going to get to that SP2. Nice weathers. So she's still getting that power gain. She's mounting right here. We got Spectre, we got Power Dissolve, we got Withers. She's getting great damage on there. Even though it's a duel, when you put the pen to paper, it'll work great. So with Darkhawk, he can gain power and he can gain regen, all from different nodes. So as another showcase right here with the duel, I'm just going to work on getting to the SP2. And it's the key that you want to do, to be honest with you. Boom. See, right here, regen would hit, boom. Regen, power gain, nix it. So Sassy, he's a healer. This is my R2 versus an R6 Sassy of mine. So we just applying the Spectres, applying the Withers. We want to get to that SP2. A lot of SP2s. And just working on it, the slow motion it. He's getting more aggressive. He's mounting down now. See, he took that little burst damage. So the good thing with like Sassy or any other regen mystic, you can mix it up if you wanted to. Like, I think I'm going to throw an SP1 here. And like I was saying, that vitality and them debuffs are on there. And he's mounting down a good amount. So think about if the mystic is on a regen mini in War, node 37 off the top of my head. You're going to melt him down. You're going to burr right into him. And it's not going to be too crazy, but you're going to be able to get it done. And that's the whole point. So Hyperion has power gain, cosmic power gain. He can have his ability, right? Power messed with. The old tactic used to be Void versus Hype. And there was also Doom versus Hype, but Void. Reverse that power gain, reverse the healing. So we get just waiting. And we go to an SP2. There's the power dissolve. There's the little burst. There's the control, the power gain. There's the steadfast. We got more than 12 debuffs or more when he's non-mystic, as I mentioned. Just nice little meltdown. Nice little meltdown. Ooh, and then throw the SP1. Get that regen. Reverse that bad boy, and boom. So abs, gains power. Has a couple different forms, so you want to play around it. You cancel it when you have him after his specials. He also has massive regen before he first got out. Everybody's like, oh, his regen's so hard, and people would be dying to him in lower tires. Well, look at this. I threw the SP1. That regen's nothing. Yes, even with just the debuffs itself. And I had the door open, so he's more aggressive. As you can see, I'm getting them intercepts. Sorry, the door's not open technically yet. Wait, actually it was, sorry. Small brain here. But then there's a power dissolve with SP2. That cancel. Boom. Pretty easy. With this slow down video right here, you can see that the leader is able to pretty much take away Chavez's kit. Right with the power dissolve, you can see her ticking down from her power and her health right there. All with that, and the withers will stop her dimension. In this portion right here, I'm going to showcase his special one and how important it is against regen champs. As we know, Gorr regens a lot, especially when you hit him. See, every time it refreshes, so you just want to throw your SP1 right here. You have about 7 Spectres and Withers. Your SP1 is Vitality, and while active, opponent's regeneration effects are basically modified, so you can speed up the regeneration effects of the champion you're going against if they're able to be modified. So you can't go against a Weapon X or Sinister, any of them champs like that, with your SP1 to be able to do that. But you see right here that accelerated in this duel. So in this next fight, this is going to be a Hulkling. So we did a Hulkling showcasing his power gain and how the power dissolve can handle that. But we're going to also use SP1 here because Hulkling regens quite a bit. Just throw that SP1. And there you go. It's going to speed up his healing factor. And it's pretty easy, like if you want to go against a healing type of champion like this, you just keep on using your SP1 right there, and he'll melt down. This next fight is going to be against a Wiccan, and as we all know, Wiccan regens when he throws his SP1, and he will regen like energy damage, say like shock or hazard. But in this duel right here, because I couldn't find a R3 to do, I had to do my R2. I'm going to just bait him to an SP1. Throw the SP1. And then have him throw his SP1. That's my plan. And boom. You're going to be taking a bunch of damage down just for him reversing the health on him. Which is a great aspect that the leader has. Such a great champion. This next fight is going to be... trying to remember. So the next fight is versus Moleman. So the great thing about the leader, his debuffs aren't counted as normal debuffs. They're counted as severe debuffs, so they cannot be purified or cleansed. So as you know, Moleman would usually purify these debuffs, and then right here he would gain a bunch of his monster mass charges, but he's gaining significantly less. So you don't have to worry about him doing that. It's a great ability that the leader has. He's able to go against skill champions with that. The only way they can get rid of these debuffs is if they're on the door. As you can see right here, why the door is open. And that would allow him to get rid of it. And that is if you're fighting the leader. You just want to be on the door, and you'll get rid of them debuffs. Pretty easy way to go through it right there. There's that degeneration that's going through when you're fighting on the door open. Right here, I'm going to be going against Korg. And usually Korg would purify and get more rock stacks, right? But no, not happening. The crappy thing is you are going to be taking rock shield damage. So you can't get around on that. Tread a nice SP1 dex. I can't do that as good as I should, to be honest with you. But there you go. Throw the SP1 Vitality. You could do the SP2 if you wanted to. Messed up that one. But since I had my 12 debuffs up, I was able to get the Steadfast, and it wouldn't have hurt as much. So it's not that crazy. So this next fight is going to be against the Super Machism Yondu from the Crucible. So I'm just going to show you guys his debuffs don't trigger Machism, and they don't trigger Conflictor. So as you can see right here, he's not healing anything back. I'm just able to control the fight perfectly. Getting them intercepts in. Every first light is a Spectre, and every third or fourth is a Wither. That's on top of you being duped in Sig 200. There's a lot of debuffs you can put on him that allows you to ramp quicker and get your Furies up above. And the great thing is when the doors open, they're more aggressive. The AI is more aggressive, so it's like a bait and infuriate. And when the doors open, you throw your SP3. You get the degen from the SP3, but you also get a degen vulnerability right up here. And you're able to take down. I didn't want to do a whole fight on this just for time purposes. But yeah. He has a lot to his kit. Degeneration, Spectre, Withers. He is one of the best power controllers and reverse healers in the game. Might even be the best. Just because he's able to basically up someone's regeneration with their SB1, with his SB1 right there. So this one is going to be against Realm of Legends Scarlet Witch. As we all know, Scarlet Witch has a major power gain. And she has great abilities. So right here, since you can't push to an SB3, I'm just going to push to my SB2, get that power dissolve on her. Right there. You're going to see some burst damage here in a second. It's going to be about 63k right there. Boom. And that's just from his power dissolved ability, as we know. When she was about to gain all that power, it just dissolved it and got a big burst damage. So not bad versus the Realm of Legends Scarlet Witch. So basically I'm just going to keep on SP2ing. We see all them crits right there. There's no synergy champ with him either. So this is just him normally hitting with all the crits and red numbers. So can't complain that he has red and yellow. There's another burst damage right there. So I'm just going to go Psycho to another SP2. Just keep her in the corner. Usually you want to go into the middle and go onto the green door, but if you're able to control the fight, there's nothing wrong. Put them in the corner and making sure they don't get out. There you go. All the red. 2 health and 1. This next one is extremely great because this is showing right here why he is probably the best heal reverser. As we know, this Realm of Legends Wolverine was a pain in the butt when you had no one to stop his healing back in the day. Even for newer players if you need to do this. So I have 3 Spectres, 2 Withers, and it's just counting up. With that Vitality right here, he has 2 regens, as you can see. He's just cooking down himself. I'm just going to go through another SP1 now so I can still modify it. And look at that. Completely melted, completely heal reversed, completely free, completely clean. So this is what relics that you could use. So I used 2 different relics. He's a defensive guard champion, so he'll get this plus ability from Captain America. I've used both the Fortitude one and the block proficiency one, which the leader already has a lot. As a 7-star, he has 81% block proficiency, so pretty high. This just helps accelerate his ability that he has. So we're going to do the counter puncher. So blocking hits, give him gain 5 kinetic charges, and give him physical burst damage. And then my other one that I personally like is if you're going against mystics in war. So say if you're using a tactic and going in war, you're going to want to use a Spidey 99. So you get the 2 withers when you dex, and that will help negate the power. So when the leader has at least 12 debuffs as opponent, he gains a steadfast passive. This becomes 4 debuffs against mystics. Personal fury effects have a duration of 6 seconds. They're paused while the green door is open. And then that's when you can add the lights. So this is his abilities. He's poison immune, and as a defender, his regeneration rate is at 0% or the willpower is disabled. His personal debuffs are Purify or Cleanse. He has 20% add debuffs off his first light or his third. On the green door, he gains Gamma 2. Green door of Gamma every time. I'm not good at reading this, so I apologize. So if you guys want to read through this portion and look without me talking, that's totally fine. When the green doors open, you get additional stuff. You get additional passives, and they're more aggressive. It's SP1. You can throw the Spectres in the block. The special 2, each hit inflicts 1 personal wither. And on the final hit, it is the power dissolve that we all know and I've showed you guys. And at 3 is the degen. So he does have sweet synergies like Verse Whip, Moleman, and also Bloodstone. Like his debuffs would be paused. Moleman's personal shocks are paused. And Elsa also gets something great. Same thing for She-Hulk. This right here is with the new war tactic, so I just want to show you guys the degen right there and how it ticks when it's on the green door. I hope you guys use Leader in any type of the game mode. He works in Battlegrounds, AQ, War, and Questing. I hope you guys enjoy him, and I hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye.